It's the book reviews back in your life. This is the podcast where we discuss all things books. I'm Samurai Jack, and with me, as always, is Dexter from the
Mm.
laboratory. And we're here to do another one. We're getting into comics again on this one. This is our next recap. If you've been keeping up, we have dove in headfirst into the comic world, and we're continuing in that. So we're just going to talk about the things that we have read here recently. As always, if you're a comic book person, let us know what you think about some of the stuff we've read and any recommendations you may have based on what we've enjoyed or what you've enjoyed. So yeah, I mean, let's get into it. I guess I'll start real quick. I won't talk long on this, but I'd seen a lot about it, before I got into it, and now I'm done with the Chip Darsky or Zdarsky run for Batman. So this is Batman issues 125 to 157. It was like 5 TPs that I read it in. I've read a good bit of Batman at this point, since we've got to say a good bit, comparatively, I guess. And this was weird, man. This was like one of the things where there were moments where it was good, but I'd be really curious to see what other people think about this Darsky run. And I know you're not going to read it, so this is, spoilers if you haven't read it and you want to. The weirdest thing about it, man, was basically Batman, one of the people that was like his mentors, trains him to form a separate personality in his mind that for serious occasions that would call for it, he has a personality that he can switch to that's like just Batman, no Bruce Wayne. Like if he has to go hardcore for some reason. And Batman at this stage, he's a little, he's been through a lot at this
Hardcore, but
point.
still not kill people.
Yes, still not kill people, but I don't know, I guess go the extra mile or whatever it may be. Definitely more vicious and violent or
Yeah,
whatever. A little more authoritative version of Batman. But, the Batman now, Bruce Wayne regrets that he ever did that. He realizes it was foolish for him to do that way back when, but I guess he forgot about it. And Alfred's dead. So once the thing gets triggered, that's actually fail safe. There's multiple things. There's this robot he made that has this personality or something. It's just very convoluted, to be honest. And the whole Zen or Ra, whatever his name was for his other personality, was just not interesting to me. And I don't know, man. This whole run from Chip Darsky just kind of felt like meh. Again, there were some moments that were cool. Most of the moments I liked were moments between like they were the character moments between like Bruce and maybe Dick Grayson or whomever it may be. So there were some good moments for sure, but it just I don't know, man. It was very lacking. It was weird. So I'm not going to talk on it too much. It wasn't terrible. There were a few issues I still gave 5 stars to. And a lot of the ones in here I gave 4s. There were some 3s in there for sure. But just overall, and compared to a lot of the stuff we've been reading lately, it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep reading this because I already bought the trade paperback. But yeah, wasn't my favorite. One of my lesser favorite things that I've read in comics, frankly. And I love Batman, and I'm probably biased. Like there's stories that probably aren't as good that I would still like because it's Batman, but this one just it
did
didn't
not
hit,
hit.
man. And I know you've not read a lot of Batman, so you don't really have things to compare it to. But when you do get into Batman, this is not what I'll be recommending to you. That's all
Okay,
I'll say.
we'll skip that run.
We will skip old Chip, which he's written other stuff that I've liked. So anyway, next up, God Country.
God
Um,
country.
this was written by Donnie Cates, I believe, right? Yeah, Donnie Cates, who also wrote Silver Surfer Black, which I've read, which was awesome. But we're here to talk about God Country, which, if you don't know, is essentially a story about a man. He's got a wife and a child, and his father is elderly and has Alzheimer's, it seems, and is pretty. It's pretty rough as far as the family situation. And then, kind of out of nowhere, this old man who doesn't know what's going on gets access to a magical sword. And when he's holding that sword, he remembers everything about his life, and he's the man he used to be. And that's God Country. There's obviously a story, and that happens with that, but I don't remember how I found this. It's Image Comics, and I just saw that it was a single 6-issue run. So picked up the TP, and I thought it was good, man. I recommended it to you. I thought because I thought it was different, and I know you've been
Yeah.
kind of trying to find some comics that aren't just superheroes. So I really liked it. We can get into kind of the deets, but just right off the rip, I mean, what did you think about this overall? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I loved it, dude. The artwork
Let's
was really good
go.
too. The artwork was solid. I mean,
Yeah,
and
it
it
was.
was I mean, I read this in an hour and a half, maybe. I don't
Yeah,
even know if it was that long.
yeah,
I mean, it was a quick read too, which was kind of sad in a way. I mean, it's
yeah,
cool because you're in and out and there's low commitment, but at the same time, like I wouldn't have minded seeing like it end a little differently, maybe with like a little bit more of a twist. But no, it was really good. I
yeah,
thought the artwork was solid. Um, and I thought there was enough there to like keep you emotionally invested. But I mean, it was obviously just kind of a cool. I mean, that's probably more of our niche though. Like, have a super sick sword, and
yeah. Dude,
we're
I mean,
in.
that's right up our
It
alley.
has like
Yeah,
super cool like abilities. Like a talking sword in general is just something
yeah,
that I love.
yeah. I mean,
So,
anything Nightblood vibes is always going to be good for us.
mhm.
Um,
But anyway, but no, I love the artwork. Obviously, I read this on my iPad.
mhm,
What did you have the actual TP?
I do. Yeah.
Some of those like full panels look sick. I'd be curious to see
Oh
what those
yeah,
look like on the page, but
yeah,
on the iPad it looked great.
yeah. I'm sure there were some moments where the iPad would have done it much better justice for sure. Yeah, I just thought it was cool, man. I mean, the whole through line of there's this magical sword and these fantastical elements, but really the through line of the story is like a family dealing with someone who has Alzheimer's, which is such a prevalent thing for so many people that's
Yeah,
been on the rise. So I thought the emotional beats were really good in this one because you're kind of experiencing this is a son who wants to be there and take care of his dad, but his wife and child being around his dad is not a good situation. He scares his daughter gets scared of her granddad. The wife barely even knows the man because I guess he's been like this, since they got together,
yeah,
whatever. So yeah, I just thought it was, it was fantastical, but it also had a very human element, which was cool.
it did. Yeah, and the ending of it, while it was not what I thought it was going to be, was there was still satisfying, like in a way,
Yeah,
how the story is left.
yeah,
But then where they go in outer space or wherever, I guess, was still interesting enough to make it to where it wasn't just like sad, depressing. That it was also still like, oh my god,
yeah,
like what is this sword? But it also left. I mean, it just kind of was a tease, though. I don't know. It was good, but it was so good that it's like that's it. Like
yeah.
there's nothing. Like, is there anything else like from this world, or is this it?
Yeah, no, and I haven't seen anything. Everything I've seen is this is just a standalone thing by
Uh,
itself. But I totally agree with you. I mean, getting more of a backstory and seeing more of whose hands this sword has been in would definitely be cool. I'd be down for another story of where this sword ended up.
well, and that's what I thought was going to happen at the end. I thought maybe it was going to set something up for something else, but it didn't really give you any clarity there.
No, and this was 2017, and there's not been anything else with it. But man, that's the second story. Silver Surfer Black was just 5 issues. God Country was 6, but that's the second story I've read from Donny Cates, and they were both just like very deep. And the art works really well with the story. Obviously, he's not the artist. At least I don't think he was on either one of them. But yeah, so definitely becoming a Donny Cates fan, and want to check out more. I know he's got a really popular Thanos run and a really popular Guardians of the Galaxy run. So who knows? Might find some of that. But I will say, in kind of like you, this definitely made me want to find more comics that are not just superheroes.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's God Country. If you've read that, let us know. If you haven't, I think It's Lit Book Reviews would definitely recommend picking that up if you're into comics. And even if you're not, I think this is probably a good one for anybody to read, even if you're not into comics, because again, it does have that very human element to it.
it does. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with
So
that.
well, cool. Well, before we get to the main event, was there anything you've read that you wanted to pop in here?
I was trying to look. I mean, dude, honestly, it's been such an investment that I've made into the Ultimate Universe over the last week. I don't know if I've read anything else. I tried to read some single issue stuff, and I'm not even gonna. Andrew and Post don't even put these up there, but Like I read The Invisible Man. It was just okay. Image Comics. I was hoping that was going to be better, but I don't know
Yeah.
if I've actually read anything else. I'd have to go back and truly say I don't think I have. I think I've just been ripping the Ultimate Universe. I did pick up some stuff today. Oh,
Hmm.
I did read Absolute Batman 12. I mean,
Yeah,
that
which
was
I've heard.
crazy.
Yeah, I still haven't read it, but I've heard it was so good. We'll have a now that we're getting to like the end of some arcs with some of the absolute stuff. We'll probably have a full episode where we kind of break
Break
down
down
all the
each.
absolute stuff.
Yeah.
But okay. Only other thing I would mention is I did just read the first issue and started the Immortal Legend Batman. I don't even think I told you this, Andrew. But it was pretty cool. It's like a Batman in space fighting demons and monsters. So I was like, bro, I'm down. I don't know what's going on at all, but dude, I mean, just stick
Batman,
Batman in
if he
there.
was Superman, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah, which who knows? I really don't know what's going on, but it was interesting. So, on to the main event then. As you mentioned, Andrew and I have started the Marvel Ultimate Universe. And this includes so many things. And dude, what I really love is that I just closed the tab out that had it pulled up. That's what I really love. So
Well, this is
if you're
the
not
perfect time I feel like to start in the Ultimate Universe. I feel like we hit it at the ultimate. Like we don't have to really wait that long. It's at the
we
end
did
of the
it the
year,
ultimate time.
the ultimate time. Because dude, there's so much content out there to where I've just been ripping just different Ultimate storylines, and it's taken up like most of my comic reading time. So, and then by the time we catch up, it'll still be fresh enough to where when what is it? Absolute
Ultimate Endgame is coming up.
Ultimate Endgame. Yeah. When Ultimate
Yeah.
Endgame comes, uh, it'll be fresh. So, I mean,
Yeah.
if someone hasn't started Ultimate, like before we even get into it, you need to get it. Like now is the time.
Yes. Yeah.
Dive in.
Yeah, I would totally agree. So this is essentially this one started before Absolute, but since we started with Absolute first, I'm saying it the wrong way, but this is like the Marvel version of
Yeah.
Absolute. Absolute's the DC version of Ultimate. So it's an Elseworld. Um, things are different, a lot of the same characters, but things are just very different. I don't want to get too heavy into all the little details, but essentially what you got is it starts with Ultimate Invasion, which is the origin story of this universe. And if you don't know, I'm going to kind of spoil some of the foundational stuff. Essentially, the maker, who was like an evil Reed Richards, which I only really know of through YouTube. I've not read any of the stuff with the maker before, but I've seen a lot of videos about him. But essentially, he has made his own universe and the way he wants it, and he like keeps a lot of the superheroes out of this universe. Like Spider-Man, like the first thing you see him do when he makes his new universe is he goes and stops the spider from biting Peter Parker. Now you still have Spider-Man. There still is an Ultimate Spider-Man. We'll get into that. But that's essentially what you're getting into. So there's Ultimate Invasion that, explains the origin of the universe. And then you have, and I'm just going in alphabetical order, you have Ultimate Black Panther, you have Ultimate Spider Man, you've got Ultimate X Men, Ultimate Wolverine, and the Ultimates. Um, so, me personally, I've read the first 6 issues of Black Panther, Spider Man, the Ultimates, and X Men, but I have not read Ultimate Wolverine yet. I do have it,
Which
but
I
I've
don't
not
think you're
yet gotten
supposed to.
into it. Yeah, I don't think I'm
I think
supposed to yet.
you're supposed to do 6 of Spider-Man, Black Panther, and X-Men, and then the Ultimates. And then I think you're supposed to then go back and then do 6 of
Of each of
Spider-Man,
those,
Black
and then
Panther,
Wolverine.
X-Men, and then read Wolverine. Well, actually,
Yeah.
then read Ultimate Universe 1 year in, and then read Ultimate Wolverine. Which I read
Okay.
Ultimate Wolverine before, and it was fine. Like it's literally, I think it's the page that's in the at the end of Ultimate Universe 1 year end isn't this. It's also in Ultimate Wolverine if you have the TP at least. So
Gotcha.
you're fine there with that kind of crossover. But yeah,
Yeah, so that's what we've got. So Andrew has read more of really all of these. He's ahead of me in each of these issues because I took a 4-hour nap today when I was planning to catch
dude, and
up.
you saw Sleep Token.
I saw Sleep
You know,
Token last night. I had a meeting for work really early this morning, so your boy had to catch up on some sleep. I will get caught up tonight since I took a nap. I'll be up till 4 a.m., I'm sure. So I will be getting caught up, but I don't mind if you end up spoiling something. I'm going to read it tonight, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, so first of all, first thing I want to ask you, since you've read more, which one of these is the best to you?
I was going to ask you that too. So I've read 12 in the 3, which is
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man, Black Panther, X-Men. I've only read 6 in the Oh no, wait, I've read 12 in the Ultimates too. I forgot.
Yeah,
The
you
Ultimates
have.
came
Yeah.
out crazy, dude. And then I've
Mm-hmm.
read Ultimate Wolverine. The Ultimates is my favorite. And
Really?
I think it's that
Okay, let's
second
go.
arc of 7 through 12 is really good. There's one issue that's lacking. I gave 5s for every one except I think it's issue 11. It's like a Thor one, and it's just they try and switch it up with the narrative or the narrator, and they like narrate the whole comic like a poem. And dude,
Mm.
they go to see, not to like it's not really spoilery, but it involves them leaving and going to like find Loki kind of. And I
Mm.
don't know if that's them trying to use him, but I looked at like the ratings on my comic, the Comic Geeks app, and like all of them are like 4.3 to 4.5. And then you have issue 11, which is the one I'm talking about, and it's like a 3.4. And then the next one's like a 4.5. So, I gave that one 4, and it was still good. It was just like very weird to me there. But Ultimates is probably my favorite just because of the long storyline. Ultimate Wolverine is so good, dude. But there's it's just not as much as happened because I've only read 6 issues.
Yeah.
But I like all of them, honestly. Ultimate Spider-Man is really good and solid. Black Panther, I didn't think I was gonna like, and then it ends up ramping up and being pretty good.
Why
X-Men,
didn't
the
you think you were
only
gonna like it?
dude, I knew you were gonna say that. X-Men, dude. First of all, dude, to circle back to that, I don't know a lot about Black Panther. This is still
Yeah.
my like I'm still getting into this. Dude, he's sick. Like I
Yeah,
didn't
he's sick.
realize like he low key is
He's a
hard.
he's a
Like,
dog. I mean, he's a panther, but he's a dog.
dude, his suit, bro, some of the scenes in the second arc, I mean, dude, I'm a fan. I'm a Black Panther fan for sure. Like as far as his suit and his abilities and stuff. Um but the X-Men one I didn't think I was gonna like either. The art is a little interesting. Dude, it's just and this is more of a Western problem for me because I'm white and I don't have an Asian like background. Dude, the names are so tough for me to like
Yeah, the names are tough.
grasp a name for somebody. I mean, I'm basically just going off of whatever the beginning gives as their like superhero name, I guess.
Mhm.
Um there's some slow points for sure where it's like, all right, I see where we're going. Let's like get there and stop like
Yeah.
going back and forth with these kids. Um, but I still it was readable. I didn't at any point. I
Yeah.
think I gave them almost all of them 4s. So,
Yeah.
and I can see how it's going to be important and like how it ties in. But dude, that's been my favorite part is like all these little Easter egg of like you'll see like in X-Men you see like a news headline in the background of like Storm like
Yeah.
going off in Africa, or you see like who's this guy with webs slinging through wherever.
Yeah.
Um, so that's been pretty cool. And then Wolverine's the one that really ties in a lot of stuff. The reason why I like Wolverine the most though too is the things that I've read the most of is X-Men, and so you
Mhm.
see all these X-Men, and dude, it's so good, bro. It's so
I
good, dude.
mean, dude,
You're
I
gonna
can't.
love
Have you seen
both.
Gambit yet?
Yes.
Gambit in
So
the
you
first
actually
6?
Gambit
Okay.
is in it, which I didn't
Dude, I
know he
love
was.
Gambit.
That's me being ignorant of like not being a comic guy, but the comics that I've read of X-Men, he has not been in that. But
Okay.
Gambit's in it. Like a lot of the OG, like considerably the OG X-Men are in it. But dude, the Ultimates, man, to circle back to the one that I liked the most, dude, it's just so good. Like it just you can tell like they're moving to something. Like stuff is
Yeah.
like really happening the most in the Ultimates. Like each issue is like kind of crazy stuff is happening. Or
Yeah.
crazy you're meeting other characters, they're like, oh, all right, so they're gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
And the next issue's like, okay, so this person's gonna be a problem. Like it's just they're
Everybody's a
stacking it
problem.
up. But dude, I don't know, man. The maker's out here, dude.
Maker's the biggest problem of them all. Major problem.
Yes. So, which it is interesting how it's all based off of him being in that dome. And like a lot of the issues,
Mhm.
it's like, all right, with the Ultimates, it's like, all right, we got 7 months left. All right, No, we got
Yeah,
6 months left. And then
yeah,
Spider-Man, it just tells you what month it is,
yeah.
because he's waiting for Stark to come back. But anyway, I've liked it. I'm curious to see what the Incursion one is like. Uh, I'm not sure
Yeah,
what
that
I
one's
can
not
read
got
about
great
the
ratings.
Yeah, that one's got terrible ratings from what I saw. But dude, I saw Spider-Man has magic sword, bro, and I'm like, I'm here for
Yeah,
that.
I
If he
know you've
steals
got
her
to get into
sword, that's
that.
gonna be sick.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
I saw
I
the
believe
rating.
that's Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think it
Um,
is.
okay. Well, cool. I'm really glad you're liking it. And when I get done with my little piece here shortly, I kind of want to compare Ultimate and Absolute, even though they're obviously
Yeah,
on different tracks. So for me, having only read the first 6 issues of all of these, none of Wolverine, the only thing I've read 12 of is Ultimate Spider-Man. So I think it's kind of obvious. Ultimate Spider-Man is my favorite right now. I really like the Ultimates. But that first arc, it's kind of just building. So
yeah.
I could see how the second arc is just crazy. But dude, Ultimate Spider-Man just hit me like I don't know what it was. It like felt very like almost nostalgic. I felt like they did
Yeah,
Spider-Man so well.
I agree.
Like to take Peter Parker and him not be the Spider-Man that we all know and love that gets bit when he's like in high school and blah blah blah. This dude
Him
is
and
a
MJ's
married man with two
relationship is just
kids.
so cool. It's
Yeah, dude,
just
his
like
relationship with
that's
MJ
what you
is
want.
great. Yeah, man, it's like, dude, he's already won. He doesn't even need to be Spider-Man.
No,
But then he gets to be Spider-Man too. It's like, bro, this is crazy. But I really like the stuff with Harry. He didn't know Harry as he usually does. He wasn't best friends with him, but he meets him. And at this point, they're kind of buddies. I'm not sure if that's going to stay that way, but I do like so far what I've seen. And then the end of issue 12 is like this huge cliffhanger. Stuff's, him and Harry are both captured. Who knows what's about to happen? The Sinister Six are on the prowl. Kingpin's got them running around.
Ben. What do you think
So,
about Ben being alive instead of May?
dude, I like it because of what they've done with them. The fact that they've paired
Yeah,
up Ben and
Nolan.
Jake JK, yeah, essentially Nolan. That's funny you say that. Um, yeah, J.K. Simmons' character. Why am I missing his name? The guy for the Daily Bugle,
Yeah,
Daily Planet, whatever it is. I can't remember. So pairing them up and having them making the paper that they call it their own newspaper. I really like that arc. It's cool. But yeah, dude, Peter Parker's great in this, and like you said, dude, Mary Jane is awesome. It's like, bro,
yeah.
I
Is
love
it
these people.
canon for what's his face to be with Gwen?
Harry?
Yeah.
No, I mean the original canon is that I shouldn't say original. The canon I'm familiar with is that Peter dated her and she died. She gets killed by like the
Gwen
way
gets
she does
killed
in
or
that
MJ?
movie, Gwen.
Oh,
And I can't remember if he dated MJ before and then gets back with her, but like where Spider Man is now, I'm pretty sure he's with MJ. And Gwen's
okay.
dead. Um, I think I could be totally wrong, but
But
yes,
she's
in
in the
canon,
Spidey.
she's usually
Gwen
yeah,
is
she
right.
is in the Spidey verse. Yes, there is a different version of her that is Spider Girl or woman or whatever, Spider Gwen. But yeah, in this one, she's like, you know, a CEO. She's killing it. She's a girl boss, and we love that. Not really. Sorry. So Spider Man's my favorite. um, haven't read Wolverine, but I'm looking forward to getting into it. Ultimates is probably my second favorite. Black Panther after that. Black Panther I liked, and I like that character, but that first arc, dude, it feels like almost nothing happens for Black
Yeah.
Panther, so it was fine. And then X-Men's definitely the weakest for me right now, but towards the end, like you kind of said, you can tell, okay, it's going somewhere. I see who at least, dude. I don't know who all the characters are supposed to be though. Only one I
I don't.
recognize is Charles Xavier. Like I see him. He's supposed to be that weird dude. Um,
Is he?
yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be. Is he's like Professor X
Dude,
of this universe. And the only reason I say that is because there's a moment where he has that helmet thing on that looks like it's supposed to be like Cerebro. And then he
really?
says something else about his. I mean, he's got a similar power set to Charles Xavier.
Read Ultimate Wolverine and tell me if you think that's accurate. Because I don't know.
Well, you've read more than me, so I could be totally
I
off. But
don't.
it felt
You
like
could be
even if
right,
he's not
but
quote unquote Charles, it feels like he's the stand-in for that character.
I'm gonna be
Maybe I don't
honest.
know.
I don't know who these characters are. Like, I don't know if they
Yeah,
are
they may not be.
like those type of characters because in Ultimate Wolverine, there's a lot of the characters that you like know, and then
Okay,
in X Men, dude, I haven't seen any that I don't know. I could be missing it. Maybe you're right though. Maybe I haven't really honestly been looking for it like that though. Now that you say that, maybe there are actually.
Yeah, I was kinda looking for, like, who are these X-Men
Yeah,
characters based off of, but they could be totally original, I don't know.
because the
But
one
I
girl's
do see
power I
what
don't
she's
even
doing.
understand. What even is it? It's just she has like a Big Hero 6 kind of
Yeah, she has,
thing.
like, an avatar that comes out of nowhere. So yeah, I'm not sure what that is at all. But I still liked it, towards the end, and I'm gonna continue it. I can see where they're going.
Has Storm showed up in Black Panther for you?
Mhm. Yeah, her and Killmonger. Mhm.
All right.
Yeah, which they're I like that. I like Killmonger and Storm doing their thing. I think that's cool. Storm's
Yeah.
always been another one of my favorite,
Storm's
X-Men.
sick, dude.
I mean, she bad. Uh,
The plot's great.
so you've obviously read more, so you're gonna have more to say about this, but how does this compare to the Absolute Universe to you?
This feels again in a weird way. So I've read nothing that's can. Well, I guess I've read X Men, so I can't say that. So I've read X Men and Marvel. I've not read anything in DC. Like I haven't read any of like the true stuff. Like
Right,
so if something's different, it's harder for me to know like what should it have been like,
right.
especially with Black Panther. If there's something different about Black Panther, I don't know like what that is. Um, some of the stuff with Wolverine, I know. Obviously his arc is called Winter Soldier, the first one that I've
Mhm.
read. So, I mean, you can
Obviously
kind of
something
get the
different
gist
going on
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but dude, it feels like they're doing it feels like it's way different in Absolute. Like it
Mm,
feels like they're making way more changes. Whereas this is
mm.
just like an Elseworld, which I don't know necessarily what the difference is. So maybe that sounds like dumb to even say. Like the Absolute universe feels like, all right, this is just something completely different. Whereas I guess it makes sense because this starts with Ultimate Invasion, and it's like, okay, there is supposed to be a normal world, and he's like going like changed these little things here and there. Whereas the Absolute universe, I mean, there's not an issue that I know of where it starts off and explains that, right? Like you're just in a different world,
Well,
right?
there's a so it's the DC All In special event, which basically shows you. I mean, I read it, you have no idea what's going on if you have not been reading DC up to that point, but it's basically an issue that the front cover is like DC characters that are not the Absolute, and then if you flip it upside down on the other side, it shows you Absolute people, and the issue is the same on the inside. So you can start on one side, and then you get halfway through the comic, and you have to turn it upside down, and then start from the other one. So it's basically what it does is it shows you all it's showing you is that the Justice League had this big fight with Darkseid, essentially defeat him, kinda. And he basically turns around and somehow I really don't understand how he did it, but he's like, okay, I'm tired of just getting beat by Superman in the Justice League every time I try to do something, so I'm just gonna go make my own universe. And I'm gonna make their lives suck. So,
Because I
and
feel like the
then
artwork looks so
DCKO's
different,
coming up.
right? Like a lot of the times, like
Yeah,
as for I mean, maybe I'm just thinking of. I mean, Bane looks crazy, dude. Does
yeah,
Bane look like
yeah.
that in the other one?
I mean, Bane's huge, but he ain't that huge. I mean, Batman's not as huge in the normal universe as he is in Absolute. I mean, no one is, bro. No one's 6'9", 420. I mean, that's just crazy. Which
Not in
honestly, I
Jack.
just realized, bro, the fact that they made him 6'9", 420 is crazy. I just realized that. That's crazy. But yeah, no, I mean you're right. It's definitely way different. But the thing with Absolute, so you know the DC KO event that's coming up. I don't know if
Yeah,
we've talked about that. So that
no.
is the dark side, like from this continuity. Apparently, he has because his whole point with making this universe is, I guess, there's a way that him having his own universe, he can store like just gain more energy and power. So now he's showing up to the main DC universe and like making them all fight each other for some reason. I don't know if it's just a fun event or if it means a lot for the future of the series. Um,
I hope it's completely separate, honestly, because I
yeah, I would
like where
prefer
this
it to
is
be separate.
going. And it's like this is a totally new world, and it's like because this stuff is so unbelievable that it's like okay, I'm in. Batman, especially Ultimate Bat or Absolute Batman, dude, it is so unbelievable
Yeah,
that it's like, all right, I'm in because it's
yeah,
so unfathomable. Like, I mean, the stuff that's happening is insane. And then same with Martian Manhunter, it just seems so different, like so
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Um, so anyway, but I mean, I've loved it.
yeah. Me too. So would you say? And again, it's not fair to really compare things like this because it doesn't do anything to benefit anyone. But if you had to pick, which one which one do you feel more of a connection to, and more like if you had to pick, I can only finish one of these universes, which one do you think you're leaning towards?
Dude, it's kind of tough because I think because I've read everything in like a cohesive pattern for Ultimate, I feel like I have a better understanding what's going on.
Mm,
Whereas with the other one, because I've been reading it issue to issue, it's like kind of a dagger. Like
yeah, it can be
I have
tough
Flash
sometimes.
that I have to read right now, and it's like, dude, I can't even remember where I left off in Flash. I'm gonna have to log back
Yeah,
in. Whereas
yeah,
I've just ripped all 12 like in a sitting for
right.
some of these. So it's like it's totally different. I will say there's just lines. I mean, the absolute Batman and Superman, like I really want to know what happens there. There's so much
Yeah,
going on. Flash and Green Lantern have cooled off a lot for me. I think
yeah,
I still trust the Wonder Woman storyline, even though I did not like the last issue at all. The other ones I did, so I'm just trusting that there's going to be a bounce back. I know you
yeah,
said Martian Manhunter's maybe not going to be. There's not going to be another run for that for a little bit.
yeah. They're
Um,
taking a few months off.
so it's harder to see what they're building towards in Absolute.
Yeah,
Whereas
that's
in
fair.
Ultimate, it's like such a I mean, it's so clear. Like it would be tough to read. Like you could pick up any of those storylines and read them, and you'd be fine for Absolute. Whereas in Ultimate, there's so many tie-ins. So like you could probably still read just straight up storylines, but it wouldn't make nearly as much sense. Hence why they have those little paragraphs before every issue, which I actually
Right.
like,
Yeah, I
where it
like
kind of
that
gives
too.
you a little update on like where everything's at in the
I mean, I
world.
feel like you have to do that in comics, bro. With the way
Yeah.
continuity is and how convoluted things can be, I don't know why everybody's not doing that.
And I
I'll
love how
take a
they give you
recap
a
in every
little.
comic I read.
Oh yeah, and they give you a little glossary of characters with their pictures.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I'm
I do
here for
like
that. I
that.
like that.
Yeah, I like that
So
too.
there's certain
So
things about the
leaning,
format of Ultimate that I like. It's just they're
yeah,
so different. It's like if you
yeah,
just
they are
want just a
different.
normal storyline, like Absolute, I think are better just straight up just in isolation storylines. But I'll have to see what the apex is for each. It's just right now, Ultimate,
Yeah,
I can just see where it's building. Whereas
yeah,
Absolute, I know it's building to something, but it's only because you told me that, or else it's like, oh, these are just separate. Like the world's
right.
not the same.
Well, and Ultimate does have the advantage of they started a year before Absolute, so they just
True.
have more material out. But yeah, I would agree. Even though I'm not as far as you in Ultimate, I would agree that there's a very obvious, cohesive. Even though it does get a little squirrely at times, you see where Ultimate is heading. Whereas for Absolute, dude, I mean, I don't know if the heroes are going to survive each issue. Like, it's like, I don't know where this is going because Batman might die.
Yeah.
Because it's just so crazy. So I think I still prefer Absolute. Part of that's probably because it's what I started with and I'm so invested in it. I've been reading it since the end of last year. But yeah, it's hard to pick, man. I lean Absolute, but it'd be hard to give up the Ultimate Universe too. So I mean, that's the Ultimate Universe. I don't know if there's much else to say other than we're excited to see where it goes. I mean, any other comments you have about our ultimate heroes?
No, I'm it makes me I'm probably gonna go back and read some more like what I'm gonna read next because I'm gonna maybe read. I'm trying to think. I think Spider Man is the one that came out first, so I'm gonna try and read maybe the next arc in Spider Man, and then maybe Black Panther, and then kind of see where everything's at. Because I'm not sure when I can read Ultimate Wolverine next. Dude, I want to read it so bad, bro. The way it ends, I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'm trying to like actually read it in order. Same with
Yeah,
the Ultimates. Um, but I'm definitely gonna go back and like where I left off for X Men. So I know you read House of M. Before I read
yeah,
House of M, there's something else I want to read. Just to give me better context of like where I'm at. Because luckily the like 40 plus issues that I read of, I think it was Grant Morrison's new X Men. Is that who wrote that? Did I just pull a name out of
yeah. And
nowhere?
I
Does that
think that's
sound?
what you're supposed to read after House of M, right? Or is that before? I might
It
be
is Grant
tripping.
Morrison. It's before the new X Men is
Okay,
before. Um,
okay.
and so then after that is I should know it, dude. They make all these like words before X Men, and it's like, all right, it's not uncanny X Men. It's something else. It's maybe it is uncanny. I can't remember. It's whatever comes afterwards in the timeline. I have the trade paperback for that. I'm gonna try and read a couple issues of that, and then I'm gonna read House of M because I think a lot of that is side by side, but there's something that happens like right before, like that you were
Mhm.
talking about. But I'm gonna read both of those probably this week, and then because I've caught so far up on Ultimate, I don't want to like gas out on that. I want to
Yeah,
like leave stuff like some left to try and to go. And I like reading them like arcs at a time. I think I'm gonna
yeah,
wait and like try and read them all arcs at a time. So
yeah.
anyway,
I'm with that. Yeah, and I thought House of M was really cool. I'd seen YouTube videos about it, so I already really knew what was going to happen in the end. But actually filling it out and seeing it, House of M was really good. It's pretty sad in some areas, but
yeah,
all right, well,
pretty true.
cool. That's the comics. We've obviously read a lot of other stuff. I've read so many things over the last week, but I just can't hit all of them in a single video. But we'll definitely talk about them. I think the way we're going to do it is instead of talking about each little issue we've ran every week, we'll kind of talk about when we finished an arc that week or like finished like a story that there's actually something to say about. So that's kind of what we're doing. So we'll definitely have more next week. Let us know if you're reading the Ultimate Universe and what you thought about it. If you've read Ultimate Universe and Absolute DC, let us know what you think about them comparatively. Like I said, they're both great. There's no benefit to saying one's better than the other, but I'd be curious to hear what everybody thinks.
Same, 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 same.
We'll catch y'all on the next one. It's Lit Book Reviews. Thanks for watching.